Hey guys, the materials for this top will be listed in the description box below. So we're going to start with a slip knot, and to make your foundation chain, you want to take your bra size and subtract 10. So for example, if you're like a 36B, you'll take 36 and subtract 10 and you'll get 26. For me personally, I'm aiming for around 18 inches. Now once you have your foundation chain, we're going to go right in with double crochets. So I'm going to insert my hook into the third chain from the hook and work my way down with double crochets. I've just reached the end of my first row and I have a total of 59 stitches, which came out to be 18 inches in length. So now we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. For me personally, I'm going to count this chain 2 as a double crochet, but of course you can do whatever method that you prefer. Just for me though, that just means that I'm not going to double crochet into that very first stitch, and instead I will double crochet like normal from the second stitch. And we're just going to crochet double crochet rows until you're comfortable with the length. The more rows that you do, the more of your stomach will be covered. For me, I'm going for 4 rows. Here I've got 3 stitches left in my third row, and I just wanted to show you how I crochet into the chain 2 and when I counted the chain 2 as a double crochet. I'm just going to double crochet like normal, and for that very last stitch with the 2 chains, I'm just going to crochet into the very top, so the second chain. There's 1, there's 2, so I'm going to crochet right into that chain. I find that this method gives me a very straight edge and I really like it, but still you can do whatever method that you prefer. Just make sure that you're keeping track of your stitches. Here I have finished all 4 rows that I wanted and flipped my work. Now we're going to find the center of this rectangle piece and mark it with a stitch marker. I'm using bobby pins, and then at this point we can also determine how big we want our cups to be. For me, I'm going for around like 5 inches, and that came out to be 18 stitches. I'm going to go ahead and put a stitch marker on the other side so that the cups are even, and I just wanted to show you really quickly how I count the stitches. So from the middle, 1 stitch over, that's going to be my first stitch, so that middle stitch won't count, and then I'll just count 18 stitches on both sides. Now to get our hook over to the very first stitch marker of our cup, we're just going to slip stitch all the way up to that stitch marker. I'm going to skip this very first stitch and begin my slip stitches in the very second one. Also, I'm just making sure to keep the tension on my yarn pretty loose because I don't want it to be too tight. Now my last slip stitch is going into the stitch with this stitch marker. Then from here we'll chain 2 and we'll start row 1 of our cups. But before we start, I just wanted to show you a quick little diagram of what we're going to do. So whenever we're working on the outer edge of the cup, we want to decrease by 1 for every other row. Then whenever we're working on the inside edge of our cup, we're going to decrease for every row. So the inside edge is where the center is and the outside edge is where the outside is. For row 1 of our cups, we're going to decrease by 1 on both ends. So we're going to use the double crochet 2 together to decrease by 1. So we're going to yarn over and insert our hook into the very second stitch, yarn over and pull through the stitch. Then immediately insert your hook into the third stitch, yarn over and pull through. You'll have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 3 loops. Then yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. So we just decrease by double crocheting 2 stitches together. Then we're just going to double crochet along until we have 2 stitches left. Here I've got 2 stitches left right before the center. Remember that center stitch does not count, so I'm going to go ahead and decrease by double crocheting those last 2 stitches together. Now for row 2, we're going to chain 2 and turn our work, and we're only going to be decreasing on this inner side of the cup. So we're going to go right into that second and third stitches and decrease by double crocheting them together, and then double crochet like normal for the rest of the entire row. Okay, here I've got 4 stitches left in my second row, and remember we're just going to double crochet like normal across the entire thing, but I just wanted to give you a close-up to show you how I double crochet in these last 4 stitches. So these next 2 stitches are just regular double crochet stitches that I'm going into. Now this third stitch that I'm about to go into was the decrease stitch from the last row, and we just want to make sure we get in that one. And that last stitch is a chain 2, which I counted as a double crochet, so I'm just going to make sure that I put a stitch into that one. For row 3, we'll chain 2 and turn our work, and then we'll repeat the pattern from row 1 where we decrease by 1 on each end, and for row 4 we're only going to decrease on the inner side of the cup. Then we'll just keep alternating this pattern until you reach a row that has only 3 stitches left. This is my last row with 3 stitches left, and now we can chain 1 and turn our work and start working on the strap for this top. Okay, so to make the strap, we're going to do a chainless foundation for double crochets. So we're going to start by yarning over and finding the 3rd stitch in our row. Insert your hook into the 3rd stitch, yarn over and pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Then we're going to chain 1 by yarning over and only pulling through 1 loop, and then finish the double crochet. So yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops again. So what we just did was we made a chain and a double crochet, and together that creates a chainless foundation for the double crochet. And we're just going to do this again. So I'll show you. You're going to insert your hook into the last chain that we made, yarn over and pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, then chain 1, and then double crochet. And we'll continue doing these double crochets until we reach 30 stitches. I just finished making 30 double crochet stitches, and to finish off the rest of the strap, I'm just going to chain up between 150 and 200 chains. Once you finish your strap, go ahead and cut and tie, and I really like to make a knot at the end to give it a more finished look. All I'm doing is tying it and then cutting the excess yarn off. Okay, cool, so we just finished one side of the top, and now we just have to make the other side. We want to follow the direction of the stitches. So going from right to left, I'm going to reattach my yarn right next to the middle stitch, because remember that middle stitch does not count. Then we're going to chain 2, and for this side it's basically the same thing as the other one, where we have to keep in mind that whenever we're working on the inner side of the cup, we want to decrease by 1 for every single row, but whenever we're working on the outer side of the cup, we want to decrease by 1 for every other row. So here we're going to chain 2 and start with a decrease. Then begin double crocheting down the row until you have 2 stitches left, and you'll decrease by double crocheting those 2 together. I've got 2 stitches left, including the one with the stitch marker, so we're going to go ahead and decrease those 2 together. For the second row, we'll chain 2 and turn our work. We will not be decreasing on the outer edge, and instead just double crochet like normal until you have 2 stitches left, and you'll decrease on the inner edge. So we'll just keep repeating this pattern until we reach a row with 3 stitches left, and then you'll also repeat the strap that we did for the other side. It's all going to be the same, and then all that's left to do is to weave in your loose ends, and it's ready to wear. Okay, so this is the finished product. This is what the top looks like, and here is the strap. Now this top can be worn in multiple ways, but I'm going to show you how to do the crisscross way. You're basically going to take the left strap and string it through the top left side. Then take it over and string it to the bottom right side. Then take the right strap and put it through the top right. And then bring it over and string it through the bottom left. Now when you go to put it on, you just want to cross the straps over, and this creates a little opening for your head. So you'll put your arms through this large gap over here, hold on to that X in the middle, and then your head will go through this big opening right here. Here is what it looks like on. This is a perfect top for the summer. It's super airy, super breathable, and here is the back. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and peace out, guys.